Okay, so I hope the screen is visible to everyone.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
It's visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. President.
Okay, good. So in the last class we had discussion related to data, and I think the type of data we have done with this geographical, chronological, qualitative, and quantitative. So today the thing which we are going to discuss is the yes, Abhijit. Any issue?
No, sir.
Okay, okay. So today what we are going to discuss is the frequency distribution. Now, frequency distribution, as we have discussed, that it is the number of times each score or observation which has been observed in the data, in the complete data series. How many times you have observed a particular value, a particular response is called the frequency for that particular response. Just a minute, guys. I'm not able to use my pointer. Yeah, it is working. So, number of times each score or the observation occurs is called the frequency of that particular observation or the score. It can be defined as the number of times a particular observation or a group of observation occurs. We have just to count the number of times a particular value is repeated, which is called the frequency of that class. So all these three things, 1, 2 and 3, they are conveying the same meaning. That frequency is nothing but the number of times a particular observation, a particular item or particular data is being observed. It is called as the frequency of that particular item. Now we can do it quite easily, but the fourth one is, let us read it once. The frequency distribution is a table in which the data is grouped into classes and number of cases which fall under each class are recorded. For example, I have taken this example in the last class also, but I am repeating it again. For example, if you are doing a survey and you are finding out that what is the particular salary which the employees or the workers are getting in a particular company, so you keep on asking to the employees, and some of them said that I am earning 15,000 per month. Some said I am earning 10,000 per month. Some said I am earning 25,000 per month. Some people said I am earning 35,000 per month. Some are saying that I am earning 20,000 per month. So like this, people have responded you differently. So what you have done, you have just created a particular kind of a table like this. आपने एक टेबल बनाई and you have, we don't need the third column, so you have created the class. So I have taken it like 5,000 to 10,000, let's suppose. Or if you are finding that there are only 10,000, so don't take it, let's go for 10,000 to 15,000. So I have taken one class as 15, sorry, 10 to 15. Then I'll take it as 15 to 20. It is in thousands, right? I have mentioned it on the column title. So 10, 15, 15, 20, 20, 25, 25, 30, uh, 30, 35, 35, 40. Let's take 40 to 55, 50. So I have taken this. And the number of people who have said that my salary is falling within this range, let's suppose it is 10, 15, 20, it is 7, 20, 25, it is 25, 20, 30, it is 12, 35, 30, 35, it is 15, 35, 40, it is 20, 40, 50, it is 16. So these are the number of people who have responded that my salary is this, and you found that their salary is falling within this particular class. That whatever people have said that my salary is from 10,000 up to 15,000, not exactly 15,000 but up to 15,000, you have taken this in this first group, right? And similarly, the people who are saying that my salary is starting from 15,000 up to 20,000, it is 7. So like this. So this is nothing but a frequency, and that is why we represent it by a small f letter, right? and this table is called as frequency distribution. Frequency distribution is a table in which, just read the last point, this one, that a frequency distribution is a table in which the data is grouped into classes and cases which fall under each class are recorded. Number of cases like this 10, 7, 25, 12, 15, 20, 16. So these are falling within this particular range. So they are being tabled like this, and this particular table is called as frequency distribution. Yes guys, any problem? Quite easy, कुछ इतना technical नहीं है, but still I am asking, any problem in this?
No, sir.
Good. The numbers in each class are referred to as frequency. This I have already told you. Like in our example, these 10, 7, 25, 12, 15, 20, 16. These are nothing but the frequency. So these numbers are called as frequency. When the number of items are expressed in their proportion in each class, the table is usually referred to as relative frequency distribution. What happens? Let me give you one example. Let's take this example over here. So we are having a class range and we are having a frequency. So this is a frequency distribution table, but when the items are expressed by their proportion in each class, the table is usually referred to as a relative frequency distribution. It is nothing new. You can take the relative frequency over here, and what I am writing over here, I'll just write and you observe and tell me कि मैंने क्या किया. This 10%, this 15%, 25%, 25%, and 25%. Can anyone tell me what I have done? For this third column, what I have done to prepare this?
Sir, it's the data of calculated regarding 100 peoples. You have calculated the summary from 100 peoples and make it in percentage.
Okay.
Calculated the numbers by 100 peoples.
Good. Anyone else? कोई और बताना चाहेगा? I mean, whatever Vijit, whatever you have said, this is perfectly fine and right. But what I mean by the relative frequency distribution, this is just an add-on knowledge we are taking. We are not going to use it anywhere. But yes, we should understand this also. So, relative frequency distribution is saying that when the number of times are expressed by their proportion in each class, their proportion in each class means this 10, for example, the first 10, what is its proportion in the total frequency? So I have intentionally taken it as 100. So when you take the sum of this frequency, this will come out to be 100. So what I have done, someone has unmuted, so please mute yourself. So its frequency divided by total frequency into 100. That is how I have got a 10%. Similarly, 15 divided by 100 into 100, so I have got it as 15%. So this is how I have got each proportion. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, you just said the right thing. You were just I mean, mixing the words, but your summary was
Yeah,
quite
I was
good.
just missing the languages. Yeah.
Exactly. No issue. No issue. No issue. Right. So I hope it is clear to everyone.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So now there is an example. This example will tell you that why do we need a frequency distribution? Why do we need to go for a frequency distribution table? Why do we need to calculate the frequency? Why do we need to prepare that table which is called as frequency distribution? So you want to know the income of the people living in your locality, and you went for a survey and asked all the people in that locality. Means you wanted to know that wherever you are living, you wanted to know the income of the people living in your area. You went for a survey in that area and asked all the people in that locality that what is your maybe your monthly income. Please tell me. So the people have responded. So you came up with the data of 387 people, out of which you said that their salary is 20,000. The other might have said that their salary is 25,000. The other might have said that their salary is 30,000. The other might have said that they are 35,000, and so on. So people have responded, and you have recorded it. How many people have responded? कितने लोगों ने response किया?
387.
387 people have responded, and you have got your data. And the data is this. Are you able to see it?
Yes, sir.
This is the data. Now, if I ask you that, can you tell me how many people have responded that their salary is 45,000? How many time would you need minimum to give me a right answer, or a right answer according to you? The question is quite simple, that out of 387, how many people have responded that their salary is 45,000 per month? From this data, you need to take your information from this data. What is your answer, and how much time would you require minimum? I'm not asking for the answer, I'm asking for the time you will require to give the answer.
So
Sir,
minimum
your
5 to
voice
6
is
minutes.
breaking.
My voice is breaking. Just a second. I told you that today we are facing a lot of internet issues, but somehow I'm managing. I'll try to speak a bit slowly. Am I clear now? A better
Yes,
voice?
Yes,
sir.
sir. Now it's okay.
Okay. So what I was asking, and let me repeat my question again, that I was asking that you will have to find out that how many people in your locality has answered you that their salary is 45,000 per month. So how much time would you require to give me the answer from this data? Yes, Abhijit, you were saying something.
Yes, sir. It's like 5 to 6 minutes minimum. I don't go for maximum.
Minimum 5 to 6 minutes. Okay. Who? Anyone else? You don't need not to find the answer. You just give me a approximate time. That how much time you need minimum to find your answer. Like Abhijit has said, 5 6 minutes. So you can answer you give me your time in the chat box. You just write it. That's this is the minimum time we require. Come on, guys, quick. Just write your answer in the chat box that this is the minimum time I need. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever. Okay. Nibanida is saying 10 minutes. Aratrika, sir, 10 minutes minimum. Okay. So we have got three responses, including Abhijit. So fourth one is Mr. Manoj is saying 5 to 10 minutes. Divya is saying 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, 5 minutes. Ashmita, very good. So I hope 70% of the class has responded. So you require, Tanya is saying 10 minutes. So if we take the average, it is somewhere around 6 7 minutes. Let's suppose. So 6 7 minutes would be required to find the answer of a one question. That is, How many people are there who have responded that their salary, monthly salary is 45,000? If I change my question that how many people are there who have responded that their salary is either 45,000 or less than 45,000? How many people are there who have responded that their salary is either 45,000 or less than 45,000? Now give me your time. How much time would you require? The question has changed. That how many people are there who are getting at least, at max 45,000 or less than 45,000? Now how much time do you need?
Sir, it will take much more time. Maybe 15 to 20.
Maybe. And then also you are not, it will increase to 15 minutes.
No,
Yeah,
sir, it will not be a correct data also.
maybe. That you might not be 100% sure that whatever answer I have given is the right answer or not. Because we have to tally and see. Very, yes, Aratrika, you are perfectly fine. So the point what I am trying to prove over here by asking these small questions is that why I need this frequency distribution table, why I need the data to be presented in a particular manner where the observation might be easy. So because of this I need a frequency table like this. Now you tell me which table is more presentable, the one which is there on the screen or the one
This
which is
one, sir.
there on the screen now?
Of course, this one is sir.
The previous one?
Yes, sir, the previous one.
No, sir. The
The
second
one
one
which
is out
was
of
the one
table.
which is showing frequency database.
Frequency, right? So have you understood this? By this basic example, have you understood the importance of having a frequency distribution table? Now if I ask you, sir,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I think now you'll not need, I think, more than 10 seconds to answer whatever the question
Yes,
is.
sir.
Yes, sir.
How many people are earning
Yes, sir.
50,000? You'll say 46. How many people are there who are earning less than 50,000? So you'll add all the frequency below 50,000 and you'll give your answer within 10 to 15 seconds, not more than that. So this is what happens where we were spending around 10 to 15 minutes in finding out the basic answers for which the table is there. We can save 95% of the time by having a particular more presentable frequency distribution table, and through this table we can find out that quite easily. You can check that the total of the frequency will come out to be what? If I take the total of this frequency column, what will it be?
The total number of data we have taken, that
387,
is
sir.
387.
387, sir.
Simple. The 387 will be there. So out of 387, 84 people have said that their salary is 35,000. Now this table also can be, improved further. There is an error. Can anyone find that error? That's that this can be, improved further. There is a room for improvement in this table.
So the salary is written in like a haphazard manner. Like the starting will be 20 and then 25 and then 30, so that we can like see it at a glance and understand that who is having the lowest salary or the highest one.
Exactly. So we can have a better table than this if we arrange the data in either ascending or descending order, preferably the ascending order. So if I arrange the data in this table in ascending order, this table might, look more better, more presentable. So according to that, I will take 20,000 on the first one, then 25,000, then 30,000, then 35,000, and so on. So this is what happens if we have a perfect table. The observation work, the analysis work, the presentation work will be quite easy as compared to the the raw data which we have collected, which I have shown in the previous table. So that is why we need a frequency distribution table. Now what is relative frequency? It is mentioned over here. You can have a look at it also, that I have prepared a relative frequency for all these data, that 84 is what percent of 387, 41, then 80, and so on. Is it clear?
Yes, sir, it's clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay, just a second. Just a second. Yeah. So I was having some mosquitoes over there. So yeah. So this is what frequency or relative frequency. Quite theoretical one, but we have taken the example and we have understood it. Do I need to do any calculation for relative frequency, or have you got it?
No, sir, I've understood.
Okay. Now classification of data we have done. I am taking you back to that particular. Yeah. This one. So data we have understood that we had a geographical data. The people who are coming for the first time, let me give them a quick revision also. And why I am telling this, I'll tell you later on. The geographical data is based on what? The people who are there in the last class, please respond.
So it's based on places like population
Location,
of a places,
location,
sir.
right? Places.
Location.
Location based
Geographical
data. Place,
location,
location.
places, right? Chronological, the data which is
Date,
based on
time.
time.
Date, time, and time.
Qualitative,
The data which is not quantified or cannot be counted.
can't be measured in some
Yes.
units, and it is again for attributes or
And
anything
quality.
which can be
Measure.
measured,
Measures.
right? So this is one of the classification of the data, but for statistical point of view we need to understand another classification also, which will which will be helpful in finding out the answer to the numerical questions. That is this: a variable can either be a discrete one or the continuous one. Now I want to hear from any one of you that do you have any idea about this, the discrete variable or the continuous variable? Anyone, I mean, if you don't know, there is no issue, I am there to tell you, but first I want to understand your point of view, if anyone has any, that what is discrete variable, what is continuous variable? Anyone? You have seen it in your earlier classes, but we might tend to forget, but no issues. So discrete variable, a discrete variable is that which can vary only by finite or the integer and cannot manifest every conceivable fractional decimal value. Means it can only vary by a finite number or a integer. You know what is integer? Can anyone tell me what do you mean by integers? No issues. I'll tell you. We have different types of number. One we call natural numbers. The numbers which are starting from positive 1, 2, 3 and go on. Then we have whole numbers. If we include 0 in the natural number, it will become whole number. And then we have integers also. -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. Are you able to recall? आ रहा है याद पुराना?
Sir, can you please repeat?
I was just asking you guys that do you know what is integer? So nobody has responded. So I've given you a basic concept that what is natural number, what is whole number, and what is integer. Natural number starting from positive 1 and going on. Whole number 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 positive, and then integers from negative to positive. We all know this, but sometimes we might forget. So is it clear? Are you familiar with this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what it is saying that a discrete variable, it can vary by only integers. Means if we are saying 15 and we are saying it is a discrete variable, so it can be a 16 or 14, but it cannot be 15.5. It cannot be 15.01. It cannot be 15.20. Right? Just give me a second, guys. There's someone related to network. Just give me 5 minutes. I'll be back. Yes, guys. Sorry for the disturbance. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, sir, you are
Yeah,
audible.
yeah. Thank you. So, are you getting the point? The discrete variable, the variable which can vary,
Yes, sir.
means which can change only by a finite integer value. If it is 15, it can be 16 or 14, but it cannot be 15.5. It cannot be 14.30. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah. So the continuous variable, it may conceive any fractional or decimal value within the range of possibilities. Means 15, 15.01, 15.02, 15.20, 15.99, 16.10, 16, 20, 20.20. All these are the examples of continuous variable. If a variable can take any value out of these like this, it will be a continuous variable. But if a variable can only take the integer values, it can vary by a finite integer number, then it will be called as discrete variable. Am I making sense? Am I clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
we'll take it till this point now, and then we'll be moving on to gradually we'll moving on to the numerical portion. धीरे धीरे हम लोग बढ़ते जा रहे हैं. I think in the coming or the next second class from today will be on to the numerical portion. So till now, is there any problem? Are you guys feeling that sir ये नहीं होना चाहिए, ये पढ़ाना चाहिए, ऐसा कुछ हो तो you can tell. No issues in that.
No, sir, no problem.
No problem.
No, sir,
Okay.
no problem.
Okay, very good, very good, very good. So good to know that we are going on track, we are going good. So thank you so much. I have scheduled the test, so you can please attempt